Hello, I'm SolarLoon, and here's another SunVox tutorial. This entry in the series will cover drops. Someone requested drops, so this is a technique more than a base tutorial, than a how-to tutorial. It's going to cover a technique of making drops. So a drop is basically when there's different ways to do drops, but a drop is generally when you have a song playing and it's filtered, for example, and then it ramps up and drops, and that's where the beat drops, and that's where everything drops. That's where everything comes in, and it sounds really full. Basically, this is a general way to do it: is with a filter. You filter everything down, and then slowly increase the filter, and then once it's finished, you begin the kick, or whatever other instruments you want. So let's try that today. Let's try that. So I have a basic little pattern here. I just duplicated it. But let's see what it sounds like. So that doesn't sound great. that doesn't sound great, but maybe we can make it drop. So let's try that. So we know we have a kick drum. So let's actually delete that one. Let's get the kicker in here. So let's put the kicker in. It's not connected. Hold on. So you notice I have it going into a compressor, and everything's going to go into a compressor here. That's kind of hard to hear through the headphones, but I think that should be good. Alright, so let's make this every fourth. Okay, so I think it's sounding pretty good. Let's make sure of that. Okay, let's also put an echo in here. Now, I just want to cover this really quick. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I want to cover how I did this compressor. I just connected the kicker, or whatever, the kick drum, or whatever sound. It doesn't have to be a kick. Whatever sound you want to duck the whole song by, you connect it to the compressor, and you set as sidechain input the module that's connected. So in this case, the first input is kicker, and then you just adjust the threshold so it's below the kick drum, as you can see, and the slope as well. Okay, so that's the song. Now I'm not sure how this is gonna work when it drops, but it's worth a try. So let's copy this, because it's going to be kind of a long drop, like so. And then after that, we copy it again. Now, what we're going to do is basically manipulate this filter that I already have set up. It's pretty much just a normal filter set to low pass, which is default. The resonance is kind of high, and you'll see why when you hear it. And the frequency is set to normal. So what we're going to do is pretty much see at what point we want full filter. Right around there. So I mean, the reason that I do that is because up here pretty much sounds the same as down here. So you're gonna, if you try to go from 0 to 8,000, which is the full bar, you're gonna have a lot of wasted space. It's not gonna sound like it goes from here, for example, low pass filter to full on, so to speak, to no filter. It's gonna sound like it goes to full filter, like right here. It's gonna be pretty because the upper half of the frequency bar, our sounds aren't using that, and most times you won't be using that upper half, so it won't sound filtered. It'll still sound pretty much full from here to here. So you want to make sure that you get a nice smooth transition. So let's see about that. Okay, I'm gonna say about 5,000 is good. So the idea behind this is that we just manipulate the frequency parameter. The frequency parameter of the that's not it, of the, let me allow you to see what I'm doing. The frequency parameter of the filter that everything's connected to, our sounds. So it's parameter 2. So that's parameter 2. You notice that this is the effect per column, but if you use the first two columns, the first two values in the parameter, it will affect the whatever you input. It will affect that input of the module you select. So for the second module, you specify the second parameter. And you're going to alter that. So basically, we want to go up to 5,000. So I'm just putting this here so I can copy it, and then put it down here. Actually, let's duplicate this whole thing because we're going to need this every step. Okay, and then for bass bottom, we're probably going to go with 1,000. Let's try that. Let's see how 1,000 sounds really quick. Come on. Let's try something a little lower. Maybe like 800. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's go back and undo that and set this to be 800. All right, now we just paste it up to this line. So we select the whole column, right click, go to edit, select interpolate control values, and then we hear it. Not bad. Now, one other thing we're going to do is let's make this kick a little longer. Yeah. Just wanted a nice loud kick. Okay. It's still not a very gradual rise. It gets pretty much full like right around here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be what? Okay, here we go. Yeah, set it to be 4,000 and see how that sounds. Not bad. Let's set this to be a little lower because I want it to be a really dramatic sound. So let's see. Yes, that's it. Okay, go from 400 to 4,000. Let's interpolate those. Okay, now the last thing we're gonna next thing we're gonna do is copy this 4,000 and put it in the next pattern, which sets the filter to be full on. Well, not right now. Now it's set to be full on. Now, so that works. Well, it's set to full on frequency, and over here it's set to ramp up. Now I have the resonance kind of high, and the reason for that is because it has a certain sound. You'll hear it. Doesn't really sound special. It just sounds kind of like it's just being filtered. Like there's nothing really about it. But if you set the resonance kind of high, not too high, not all the way up. Yes. Okay. So you can hear that. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's make this flanged. Let's also make it flanged so I can hear. I feel like that would be. Oh, we're getting house up in here. Okay, last thing. Okay, not last thing. I keep saying last thing. Next thing we're gonna do is add a generator. This will be noise, and this will pretty much come up, kind of like a whoosh, like a whoosh, like wind, kind of coming up underneath the track, so to speak. Let's add a couple tracks here, and this is gonna be a noise. Oops, a noise generator. We're going to pass this to compressor. Set it to noise. You can see it's noise there. So we'll just. Oh wait, no. We want to pass it to the filter. That's pretty good. So you probably can hear it sounds a little weird. And the reason for, not the reason for this, it sounds a little weird. Let me see. Let's try a different note rather than E4. Let's try E3. And then the note of noise matters. It can really change. yeah, you notice that you couldn't really hear that one, and that's because it's low, so there's not as much high end to be filtered. Like once it gets up past around here, it's pretty much normal. I mean, full filtered, and so you don't really hear it. So you probably want a pretty high noise. Nice. So next thing we're gonna do is I could use we'll use a generator, the same noise one, and we'll put this on another track. We'll put it here, and we'll pretty much have it come down in volume until right about here. So it's gonna be like a kind of like a, not a noise. I mean, like kind of like a symbol. So we interpolate velocity. Pretty good. Now, a couple things I'm seeing is that I don't really want to filter. Let's see. Let's switch this up. Let's make the compressor go. That's okay. I'm trying to think of these. I'm just gonna use another generator for this because I don't want it to be influenced by the compressor so much. So we'll do it here instead. We'll put it, yeah, 0A. Not bad. And pretty much the last thing you're gonna want is a sampler for the snare. So I have a sample pack here. I'm just gonna select a snare. Really should be a clap. I think that a clap that's pretty good is the one that comes with a SunVox. That's pretty good. Yeah, that clap is pretty good. It's not great, but you know, it's a good bass clap. Let's pass this into distortion. Pass it out. Let's make sure that it's volume up. Okay, so that's a pretty good. That's pretty good. I think that works well together. Overall, I think that it's not great, but the song I made is pretty bad. But the idea is pretty well founded. You have a rise and then break. And so you would, maybe change the notes or the chords or have a different instrument. But that's the basic idea behind drops, basically. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I've been SolarLoon. Hopefully you've enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully I'll get another tutorial out soon. If you feel like donating to help fund more development, feel free to do so. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Have fun with SunVox.